It is finally warming up outside, so today I'm going to make some adventuring here. So for this project I have a gigantic water bottle that if I'm going on like a hike or something, I don't want to necessarily carry just a large bag for this, and I don't have any small bags, so I'm going to make myself a water bottle sling, and it needs to be fairly heavy duty. So I have this pair of jeans that I think it was like my sister or like one of my friends gave me to use for fabric because they are completely unwearable at this point. But there's plenty of good fabric on them, so that is going to be what we're doing with the sling. Okay, so here we have all of our cut fabric and one solar-powered Angus. What a sweet boy. Now that we've got these all cut out, let's talk measurements. The bottle is probably about 3.5 inches wide. Hold up. My ruler's 3.5 inches wide, so we're about to find out. Okay, the bottle's like 3 3/4 of an inch wide. So this, I'm gonna make it about 4 inches wide at the bottom, give it a little bit of wiggle room. And the bottle's 13.5 inches tall, so we're gonna need a lot of length, especially because I want this to be a crossbody sling. But I mean, we've got 4 times whatever this is, so we've got plenty of that to work with. And I do also want to keep the pockets, because why not? If you can put pockets in something, why not? So I'm gonna play around with an arrangement for this and see what I like best. Just gonna do the pinning. So you may notice that I am pinning across. These are just to keep it in place because I'm not going to be sewing this by hand. This was a surprise holiday gift from my partner, which was amazing. I just walked into my sewing room and basically screamed. I'm not going to reenact that, but this is an 1891 Singer. It does have a treadle. I'm not going to be using the treadle. I'm just going to be doing it by hand, using the belt shifter here to take the belt off the wheel because I will probably learn how to do treadle sewing at some point, but it just kind of, it makes me nervous. So I'm just going to be using the hand wheel for now because that's got a lot more control on it. But this is going to be the first real project that I've sewed on this, so I'm super excited. I've actually only used it like twice before total, so yeah, it's super exciting. So one different, oh hello. Yes, I'm here, hi Angus. Anyways, so one difference with historic machines from modern ones is that they can't backstitch, so these little thread ends basically have to be put back in by hand, so I am going to thread them onto a needle and just do a couple stitches in here to take care of that, if the cat will let me. He's so baby. Yesterday I connected I swear he was just sitting next to it and then suddenly he decides to climb on it. Awesome. So yesterday I connected the bottom of this together, and today's goal is to work on getting the sides connected, and then starting to work on the carrying strap. One thing that I kind of messed up was I wanted to preserve like the pockets here, but the straps that I cut from the other... Excuse me, sir. You just bit my shirt. You want attention? Goodness, this boy is a prima donna today. Anyways, so I was cutting on autopilot and I cut the fabric all to the same width, but it's about an inch narrower than the part of the pockets. So the other leg of the jeans is, you know, already cut, ready to go, except for that it's not ready to go because it's not going to be as wide as this. So I'll probably need to harvest some fabric from like another pair of jeans just for the part that connects this, but we will make it work. What I'm going to do with the side seams is, for right now, I'm just going to pin this like so, and I'm going to do the majority of it on the machine, and then when I get down like to here, about ½ inch before the other seam would cross over, I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to handle this section by hand because I know I'll have just a lot more control. Before I add extra fabric from another pair of jeans onto this edge to make it the same height as the rest of this, there's a little hole in this that I just discovered just right next to the pocket here, so I'm going to fix this with a little tiny patch so that it doesn't end up tearing out there. Okay, so found another victim. I've already used these for a project, but this is going to have plenty of fabric for what I need to take this one up to the correct length. So I need it to be 12.5 inches, but because jeans pockets are set at an angle, this unfortunately it's 9 1/8 inches on this side, and then on the other side it is 9 1/2 inches up until the seam allowance hits. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of creative cutting with this in order to make it work. So now I'm taking the actual strap and I'm lining it up here so that I can go ahead and draw the lines down to where it should be. And I'm drawing, actually, this is going to sound kind of weird, I'm drawing 2 sets of lines. I gave myself an extra inch of fabric here in case I messed it up, in case I somehow measured it wrong. I'm going to draw 2 sets of this line because obviously if I did mess it up, you can't go back and add more fabric, but I can cut it down if I need to. really glad that I gave myself that extra inch of fabric because, as you can see, the 12.5-inch mark is just over the line for what was the seam allowance. So if I had cut that on this line right here, I would have been out of luck. So I took this out for a trial run, and I'm glad that I did, even though it means that the this is gonna need to be refinished, because I discovered a couple things. Number one, this is much wider than I intended it to be, but that's fine because I can put like an umbrella in it or something, and I can't carry an umbrella in my normal bag. And two, I realized that I want this to be stronger. I want there to be just more than like one layer of denim in it, so I am going to fix that. Oh, third thing. I also realized it's hanging a little lower than I wanted it to, so I'm going to take probably 2 or 3 inches out of the strap. So fortunately, I didn't finish the seam, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Seam ripper is real helpful for this if you know where yours is. I don't, so I'm just using some good sharp snips. So next steps, first I decided that I wanted the strap to be a little bit thinner. It was 4 inches wide. I'm going to take it down to 3 inches wide, and then I'm going to line it with some canvas just to make it a little stronger. This is like a 1.5 liter water bottle, so it is pretty heavy, and I want it to be like the whole length of this, including the bottom, so it needs to be 35 inches long. So I realized that I had only measured half the bag, and so I didn't need 35 inches, I needed 70 inches, so we're gonna be piecing this, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so once I get this, once I have this all cut out, I also want to have like a lining. I don't just want to fold this over, so this is gonna be the lining pieces right here. This one I already had, and then this, I don't know if you can tell, this is the extra that I cut off of the strap when I decided I wanted to make the strap a little shorter. And fortuitously, between these two, they are like exactly the right length. You know, I should have expected that this was the next step, that he was gonna sit on the sewing machine. Okay, so I kind of got into a groove there and I wasn't filming for a minute, sorry. So let me just explain what I did. So this kind of line of tacking here is only between this lining, the canvas that I was cutting earlier, and then this, which is the original piece that I sewed onto the bag, and then this is the piece that I attached to it on the machine the other day. So what I did in order to like kind of sandwich this nicely, I guess, was I attached the canvas to this piece, and then, hold up, I have this right here. This is a seam allowance for this piece, and it's on this side, and then the seam allowance, you're not going to be able to see it, sorry, but the seam allowance for this is right here, like it's between this piece and the canvas, so that it all sits very nicely together. And then I've been hand sewing it because there's no way that I am sending 4 layers of denim and 1 layer of canvas through my antique machine. I mean, this is literally, it's 1/8 of an inch thick, so that's wild. I didn't even pin it, I just used these little binder clips that I borrowed from my mom. Anyways, so right here, I'm going to put in some batting to make it super comfortable on the shoulder, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that now. So to finish the edges of the canvas, I didn't want to fold it over. Even like a single fold with canvas would be really bulky. So I just grabbed some bias tape that I had sitting around, and I ran this up on the machine to attach it to the edge here, and then I just started actually, and then I was like, wait, I should film this. I'm just hem stitching down this edge over here. I already did, one sec. I already did this side, so this is all done. I think it looks really nice and clean, which is lovely. I don't have to finish the edges up here because this part of the strap is going to just fold over, and that'll just be like completely enclosed right there. So once I turned the other edge over after I'd stitched this down, this edge is open, so, oh hi Angus. Yes baby. Sorry, he heard my voice. Anyways, so I tacked this closed, and then I'm just closing it with a little ladder stitch because obviously this side doesn't have the line of stitching that is right here on the other side to keep it closed, so I want to make sure that even before... Angus, I'm trying to film. He says, no, pet me instead. Anyway, so even though it will have that 1/4 inch line of stitching here, I don't want these ends to just come open and come apart, so I'm just gonna ladder stitch them closed. It helps when you're setting the stitch up to just like keep your thread out of the way here. And then just taking a little bite of the fabric here. And then another little bite on the other side. There we go. And scoot your needle out of the way. Pull it tight. Hey guys, editing Gretchen here, and Angus, who I had to bribe him with a snack to stop climbing on me and asking for attention so I could actually record this. So I haven't been posting recently. I haven't been doing so great, and things have been kind of crazy. I've had like several friends and family members have lost their jobs over the course of the last year. 2 of my aunts died this summer, so I just haven't had the mental energy to edit and post videos. And I mean, I've made and shot like 4 or 5 projects, and I just haven't, every time I've tried to sit down and edit them, I just haven't been able to make myself actually edit them. So I decided I was gonna just pick one, which is this one, which of course is why this clip is coming at the end of this video. You just watched all of it. But this is the one that I've been using, you know, every day. Honestly, it's, you know, it's a great piece of kit. I have some things of thread that I've been carrying in it the whole time. So this is the one that I decided I'm gonna pick this one. I'm gonna edit it, post it. I was kind of frustratedly talking out loud about how I've been trying to make and post more projects, not just make them, but actually post them. I mean, these are projects that you guys will probably just never see at this point, because I don't want to go back to edit the footage later, I guess. And my partner looked at me and was like, Gretchen, you just need to make shorter projects. So after this one, I'm gonna have a couple more just like nice short 1-day make or like 2-day make kind of projects, I think, and hopefully that'll help me get more back into the swing of things, of like not just making projects but actually sharing them with you guys. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoy the reveal. And then petting the cat is part of the stitch. Yes, it is. Hi, Angie. Yeah.